This video builds upon what we learned in the video on creating regular virtual hosts on an Apache web server. In this video, we'll create 2 secure virtual hosts. For our benefit, the Apache packages include a template file, ssl.conf, in the etc/httpd/conf.d directory. You may recall the include directive in the main Apache configuration file automatically includes the directives in the .conf files in this directory. The first key directive in here is the listen directive. As expected, it's set to TCP IP port 443, the standard for secure web communications. If you change this for some reason, you'll have to do some non-standard things with the security level configuration tool, at least with respect to authorizing access through a firewall. It's followed by a number of secure socket layer or transport layer security, also known as SSL directives. The details aren't important for the RHCE exam. But as with the main Apache configuration file, there's a sample virtual host container available for your use. Most of the directives are uncommented out, but if you remember the video on regular virtual hosts, a name virtual host directive specifying the common IP address is essential. Without it, secure virtual hosts aren't able to share a single IP address. So I added the name virtual host directive here, where the IP address is that of my server's network card. While the virtual host stanza contains a lot of lines, I've just modified 3. First, I specify the shared IP address in the top of the virtual host container. Next, I've created a customized document root and server name directive. The document root specifies the actual directory with my HTML files, and the server name is the URL I want to use. In this case, sh1.example.net. For me, sh1 stands for Secure Host 1. But that's just an arbitrary name. You can use the name you want. Or you should use the name you're told to use on your exam. You can immediately test the result by saving the ssl.conf configuration file. And then you should create an appropriate index.html file in the document root directory. Let me show you what I created. Yeah, it's in text format, but that's okay for our purposes, as the RHCE exam is not an HTML exam. You should make sure that Security Enhanced Linux contexts match those in the default var/www/html directory. And I repeat the command that I described in the earlier video. Without getting into the certificates, the SSL certificates which can or cannot be used, the simplest way to create a second virtual host is to make a copy of the whole virtual host container. I do that in the VI editor with the 150YY command, which yanks and copies the 150 lines listed in this virtual host container. And then I use the p command to copy that stanza. I can then modify it as needed. In my case, all I need to do is modify the document root and the server name. As this is a separate secure website, I want to keep those files in a separate directory. And I arbitrarily call this securehost2.example.net. And while the server name doesn't have to match the document root directory, I do it because it's easier for me to remember. I make the changes. I've added the appropriate files to the www.docs/sh2.example.net directory. As you can see, it's just another text file in the index.html file. And I make Apache read the changes with the Apache control restart command. Of course, this assumes you've created appropriate changes to the firewall, including an open port for secure services, port 443. And this also assumes you've modified DNS databases or etc/host configuration files on both the server and any clients which need to access this server. I've done this already on the server. And the client that I'm using to test access to this server. As you can see, I've just logged into a remote client, and now I can try the connection to the secure Apache virtual hosts. As done in the other video, I use the eLinks text browser. I specify the HTTPS protocol, followed by the desired URL, sh1.example.net. And voila, I have the home page for my secure host 1. And I tried that with secure host 2. And hooray, that works too.